Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to my video about quarantine life. As of recording this video, I've been in quarantine for about 5 weeks now, which is why my hair is all crazy and poofy. I feel like a young Rick from Rick and Morty. It's just going to get crazier and like bluer and weirder as I get older and crazier. And I wanted to apologize up front if you hear any banging, booming, screaming, or just general noise over the course of this video. Even though we're supposed to be in isolation, my neighbor is throwing yet another party. They do this a couple of times a week. I almost feel like there's more parties now that we're all in quarantine, and I unfortunately can't control the noise. But anyway, Jessica and I voluntarily started out doing the quarantine thing earlier than that which was legally required in Texas. We watched the news, we checked the graphs, we decided to kind of look ahead and try to get a feel for what was going on, what could be coming in the future. And, well, it didn't look very pretty. Unfortunately, most of my predictions about when Corona would peak, how many people would get sick, what the disruptions would look like, and all of that were accurate. It's one of those times I wish I wasn't accurate, but it was, and I'm glad that we did quarantine early because there are people here in Plano getting COVID-19 and a few of them even dying of it. And I gotta admit, quarantine has been weird. It's been like really weird, so I just wanted to talk about it. First of all, I do want to say that I am grateful that what I do is work from home, commentating, YouTube streaming. That's my main job. That's all I do. I don't have a real job anymore. But that's work from home already. I don't have to go to an office. I don't have to go buy supplies. I don't have to deal with customers, at least not directly. I get plenty of your colorful comments, though. But I still get to keep working, which is great. And that's a blessing that at least about 25 million Americans now don't have. There's a lot of people that are furloughed, laid off, on leave, or just literally out of a job, businesses that have closed. So I'm doing pretty good, all things considered. Views and subs on this channel are way up. Some of that is Warzone. Some of that is just people stuck at home with quarantine. You got more people watching and a lot more like online content. It's like a golden time to be a content creator, or it would be if revenue wasn't down 50 to 60% due to advertisers pulling out. Yes, my personal income roughly got cut in half. I'm not here to whine about that, but that makes sense because the overall economy is contracting more than it has in maybe the last 100 years. People are out of jobs, they're trying to save money, and it's very difficult to advertise anything to anybody outside of a few niche services. So advertising spending in our overall economy, and thus on YouTube and Twitter and Mixer and all that stuff, is way down. I'm just grateful to still have a job, still be able to make videos, and still be able to do what I do here for all of you. Surprisingly, home quarantine has been fantastic for my physical health. Since my wife and I can't eat out anymore, and we should be avoiding delivery, we cook at home for almost every single meal. About once a week, we'll kind of splurge and get some kind of delivery or carry out or something. But 95% of my eating is just something that's cooked at home. And this is way healthier and way cheaper than eating out. We even signed up for Imperfect Foods, where we get like the ugly, rejected vegetables and eggs and stuff like that. So they're like ridiculously cheap, and they're honestly still quite tasty. Food used to actually be the biggest part of our budget. We have our bills and expenses relatively low, but we did enjoy eating out. It was a personal value that my wife and I had. We really valued nice food, and now that that's gone, we're spending almost no money, so that kind of helps offset the other losses. But this healthier eating actually helped me lose 10 pounds. I lost 10 pounds in 5 weeks. I'm as thin as I have been in a very long time. Still have a little bit to go to hit my personal fitness goals, but I think it was primarily the eating and not as much the exercising, but the exercising's been weird too. So for a while, my wife and I were paying for a personal trainer to hit the gym. I was trying to get in a little bit better shape because I was kind of a flab monster. My wife had some concerns about her butt size and other things that we wanted to work on. So we were doing that cool, go to the gym with a trainer kind of thing. But now that there's no more gyms, it's all work at home, and we have some nice home workouts. And I don't really have anything to do, so I'm working out probably more at home than I did at the gym. I think I start every single workout with 100 push-ups or 100 squats or crunches. I don't do them all at once like the One Punch Man thing, but like if it's arm day, it's going to start with 100 push-ups. If it's leg day, it's going to start with 100 squats. If it's ab day, it's 100 crunches. And I no longer have a time limit or a pressure or anything. Like I don't have to beat traffic. I don't need to get to the gym. I don't have anything I need to do, so I work out a little bit slower, probably about an hour and a half each day roughly, and any day that's not weights, I'm going to go run a few miles. underpinning the back. Sometimes the back doesn't always enjoy the running, and I take time to stretch and jog in between video projects. Like, honestly, I'm probably going to go for a jog as soon as I'm done recording this because I have literally nothing else to do. And as a result, I'm probably stronger now than I have ever been before in my entire life, even when I was doing the personal training at the gym. The only downside is I think my body's starting to get a little bit goofy looking because there are some muscles that you can work like easier at home, like arms, you just curl. It's really easy to do. But it's a lot harder to work your chest properly or work your glutes and work various other things with home exercises. So I'm getting a little bit disproportionate here. I need to find some new exercises to get everything looking back normal again. And work from home has completely blown up anything I had resembling a schedule. I already hit all the positive stuff. From here on in, it's all downhill. We're going to be getting more and more negative. I used to have a pretty reasonable schedule because I built my entire day around training time at the gym. That was like my hard start for the day. The first thing I did, wake up, go to the gym, and then I had a couple of other things I would hit and just kind of structure my day around that. But now that there's no gym, and there's no need for early wake up and nothing to do in the afternoon or in the evening, there's no schedule, I can do whatever I want, so I have no schedule. Sometimes I'll go to bed at like 10 p.m., sometimes I'll go to bed at 8 a.m., sometimes my day starts in the middle of the night or vice versa. It's all over the place, it's terrible, my wife's doing worse than I am in this, and it's overall pretty unhealthy because right now I have no idea of when I should be working versus I should be relaxing. This is a problematic duality in quarantine because I'm sort of a busybody, a very forward-focused, always have to work on something kind of guy, and even my relaxing time is usually just when I just say, okay, I have to stop, I have to like refocus my mind, something like that. But now I don't have any schedule, so it feels like I should always be working, and when I'm supposed to be trying to relaxing, that's difficult to do because quarantine is boring and I would almost rather work on things. So now we're going to talk about quarantine being boring. There are no friends to hang out with, no dates to go on, no hanging out in groups, no house parties, big parties, no theaters, no clubs, no travel. I traveled a lot. I used to travel all over the US like on a monthly basis. No more of that. I don't even drive now. I might drive my car like once a week just to keep everything lubricated properly in there, which is probably why gas prices are so insanely low right now. And on the rare occasion that I do travel more than a couple blocks from my house, it feels incredibly weird. It subconsciously, because I still remember up here, but it feels like I forgot about whole areas of the city, so that when I see them again for the first time in weeks or months, they feel very fresh and very new to me and very interesting. I almost forgot that there was a rest of Plano outside of my neighborhood. It's probably going to be really fun for a little while. When quarantine ends, I'm going to go like all over my city and try and everything. It's going to be really, really crazy. But I think actually quarantine is really going to change up the global economy and how people live, because all the stores in my area have gotten awesome at delivery, carry out, curbside. Anything that exists in any capacity is doing curbside right now. You order online, you show up, you pick it up, nobody touches you, no human. People like drop the food off, ring the doorbell, and run away. And you can just kind of get everything you want at the push of a button. So thank goodness for capitalism and the modern internet economy. That's been very helpful during these dark times. And I think there's a lot of people that when this is all over, yes, they will go back to stores. Yes, they will shop normally, but it'll be like a novelty. It'll be like, okay, well, I used to do this and it's nice that I can, but I'd kind of prefer the delivery. So anyway, moving back, it's boring to be stuck at home. I don't have a whole lot to do. I game a lot of games, a lot more than I probably should given my spinal health. I work on videos a lot. I stream. I think I've streamed like more in the first half of this month than I did all of last month combined. I work with sponsors and my content and all that stuff. But the problem is it feels like I have infinite downtime. There's no upcoming travel, no outside pressures, no errands to run, nothing that I really have to finish right now, especially with the diminished income. It's not really necessary for me to just hit this as hard as possible. So it's either I work or I do nothing. And for me, doing nothing usually means watching TV. I was on a schedule to where I would watch like 1 to 2 hours of television before going to bed, because I'll be up here editing, working, streaming, just like going as hard as I can on this content creation until like 1 or 2 a.m. And it's like, okay, I need to, wind my brain down, relax, and get some sleep in me. But now I have more time to watch TV, and I don't have a schedule, so I just watch TV until I fall asleep every day. Netflix shows go by super fast when you have no other form of entertainment, Crunchyroll anime series, even the big ones, are getting absolutely obliterated too. I've watched just mad anime over the last month. It's almost a disgusting amount. It was bad enough to where I actually got on YouTube and I found this video by some other like otaku anime YouTuber, and it was like long series to watch during quarantine. So I'm like, okay, he's got 10 of them to recommend. But in his intro, he goes through like 15 different series that he's not going to recommend. And he's like, well, we're not going to just go for the obvious ones like One Piece. We're going to find some more obscure shows. And he starts listing all these little shows. And I'm like, wow, that's really obscure. Oh, that one doesn't even have an English name. Yeah, I saw that one like a long time ago. It was really cool. And then I realized like, oh my God, I'm just as big of a weeb as this guy. Oh my God, I've seen every show that he's recommending. Oh my God, what's quarantine doing to me? But it's hard to keep focused. It's hard to kind of keep on schedule because there's nothing to do. I guess when I run out of anime, I'll read some of the massive books I have laying around the house. That'll probably be my next target. But again, like I was saying, it's not healthy because I lose focus on what I should be doing instead of just doing nothing. There's no pressures. There's no weekend. There's no Monday. There's no impending bills. There's no insane money opportunities right now. There's no personal improvements I can do minus the hour of lifting a day. There's like nothing. You know, I thought that having all this downtime would mean that, yeah, I'm going to make like the best videos. I'm going to organize everything. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to learn to speak Chinese. I'm going to do all this cool stuff. But when every day is just a lockdown, I have no motivation to do anything. If I got food, check. Water, check. Anime, check. Games still play, check. Perfect, good. No other pressures on me right now, which is not really healthy. And I guess, I don't know, I could be hitting it harder as a content creator from the perspective of if there's more people watching, I should be trying to capture that, trying to get all these followers and subs and things, but it's overall kind of left me in a motivational funk. I don't really feel motivated to do a whole lot. Quarantine has made it hard for me to do anything nice for or surprise my wife. I am not the greatest at emotional communication, so I've been told that my method of communicating happiness or my language of love is primarily through gifts, doing nice things for people. Because of some child abuse that happened ages ago, it's extremely difficult for me to either give or receive a compliment. You have no idea, like when somebody says, hey man, you're a really great person, that terrifies me more than when people tell me to my face that I deserve to die and go to hell, which because of YouTube, that happens sometimes, you know? Anyway, we're gonna back up, but the things that I like to do for my wife, I like to get her nice food, I like to get her a present, I like to take her on a surprise. I'll wake her up an hour early and she'll be pissed off at me. I'm like, surprise, we're going to some concert or something cool. Now I can't do that. Whatever I come up with for her has to be at home, maybe in an isolated area, and it can rarely be surprising since there's no separation time for me to plan anything, and that just kind of sucks. Speaking of her, I think she has it worse than me right now because she's Chinese. Anytime she almost doesn't go out, I'm the one going out and doing like 90% of the stuff because everywhere she goes, people just give her crap for being Asian. I mean, I've been with her, people give her like really mean, ugly looks, little snide comments. There's people that avoid her like the plague. You know, it's social distancing, so you're supposed to stay 6 feet apart, but these people want to be like 60 feet apart. They see an Asian coming and they're just going to dive for cover, which is kind of crazy. But one pro tip for those of you out there, Asian grocery stores are ghost towns right now, and the prices for most of the stuff are going to be lower than the traditional grocery store. So if you live somewhere with like an H Mart or a Just Go or Ranch 99 or like any of these bajillion California Asian grocery store chains that are making their way east, it's probably easier to shop there than it is Walmart, Kroger, or anywhere else. People aren't going to give you crap for it too. And to be honest, personal hygiene is still, going well. I'm still clean. I'm still bathing. I haven't devolved into a caveman. Yes, the hair is kind of insane. I've always had bad hair. I don't think that'll change, but the hair is getting crazier because it doesn't have to be good. There's no longer a reason to wear decent clothes or look presentable to the public or anything. As long as I just don't smell bad, it's pretty much good to go here. And to be honest, at the end of this video, I think I'm getting textbook isolation-related depression. It's not great. I don't feel good a lot of days. It's getting worse, and as my work harder type coping mechanisms get increasingly boring, when I get bored, I find a project, I find a stream, I find something to tear into, something to work on. But as that kind of stuff, runs out, it's getting kind of rough here. I don't know. And what worries me is that we might be looking at somewhere between 6 and 18 more months of this, and which would mean that I've basically done 1 month, and this has really sucked and could be up to 18 more, and that would mean I have a very, very long way to go, and it would feel like an actual prison sentence. I am going to do it though, because I am a firm believer in the effectiveness of social isolation and quarantine. It's the smartest thing to do during a time like this. Anybody who's out there telling you that COVID-19 is a conspiracy, that it's fake, that it's a lie, it's a Chinese thing designed to destroy our economy, it's made of coronavirus, that you shouldn't social distance, it's just the flu, that's total nonsense. These people are either bad people, just generally bad people that don't care, uneducated, or irresponsible. Some people are just bad risk takers. I know that what I'm doing is good for others, which is a weird thing to say. Like, you know, the whole world's getting turned upside down and I want to do something. I want to, like, yeah, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fight the good fight, but the best thing I can do is just sit at home and do nothing and, like, put myself under house arrest for a couple of weeks or months, and it's just so that other people don't get it and I don't get it, and it's rough. It's rough that the best solution to the problem is do nothing, and it scares me that so many people don't care. I mean, you saw what happened to the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Boris Johnson. He was going on and on about Corona's not that bad. It's not as bad as the flu. And he's like, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to keep shaking hands because that's what a leader's got to do, you know. And like 1 week later, he's got coronavirus. A week after that, he's in the ICU on a ventilator. Dude barely survived. Brazil's going insane right now. My state, Texas, by the time you see this video, actually, they're probably going to be trying to reopen the economy. So even when the economy reopens, even when I want to go outside, when I want to go to the movies or to the club or to go to the park, it's swimming or something, go to a nice restaurant, I'm not. I'm going to sit at home because I know the moment we reopen this economy, there's going to be another massive spike of COVID-19 cases, which is going to overload the hospitals, and we'll be right back where we started. So I'm going to sit at home and be a loser. And there's not really a point to this video. It's not really supposed to make you feel better or have some sort of awesome solution for how to spend your time in quarantine. I just kind of wanted to give you some perspective on how other people are doing, if you're interested, what my life is like. And my life isn't particularly different than that of a lot of your favorite content creators. So anybody that you watch on YouTube, anybody that you watch streaming, they're pretty much all going through the same things that I do. So if you see weird content deviations, that's why. And it's also good for a lot of people to know that they're not alone with these problems. That if you're struggling with quarantine, you're not alone, that everybody else is, and we're going to get through this together. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I don't know what the heck there was to learn today, but I did hope you learned something useful. I do hope you did learn. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.